William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I welcome you to another Two Hats special of community events. Let's look in and see what's really happening.
Good morning, everyone. For those that I haven't had a chance to meet already, my name is Donnell Waters, and I'm the principal of Dunbar. And I'm here accompanied by my executive director, Ms. Wendy Hawthorne. She's with us as well. What I wanted to do, after we had the event outside, we're in the process of actually getting ready to start school in about 10 to 15 minutes, okay? What I would like to do is I would like for those that are interested to have an opportunity. I'm gonna come over here so I can have my back towards anyone. I would like for those that are interested to have an opportunity to actually tour the campus. I want you to be able to go around and actually see what's happening in the classrooms, because that's where the real work takes place. Now, we can sit up here and talk to me for 45 minutes, but I want you to see what really takes place in the classrooms. So we're going to get ready to have some coffee and donuts here. I want you to have an opportunity to get some coffee and donuts. We're going to go ahead and start school. And then after that, once we get the scholars in the classes, I want you to have an opportunity to go around and see the classroom, tour the campus, and then we can come back in here and I can answer any questions that you may have. How does that sound? Great. Okay, so while we're getting ready to have coffee and donuts, let me go ahead and try to get a couple of staff members together that will help with the tour in just a few moments. Okay? All right. Here we go. Mr. Attorney, you got it from here.
All right, so
no problem, but the meeting release.
thank everybody. So the purpose of this Support Dunbar Day is that there is a national movement to support public education. The reality of the matter is that our schools, a lot of schools are being privatized left and right. And there's nothing bad against, not I'm saying all charter schools are bad, there are great charter schools. But a lot of our students are moving into charter schools, not being into the public school system. And parents feel like they want their kids to have the best education. Dunbar is a great school. It's been here for, I don't know how many years. Long time. And what makes Dunbar really great is it really is a neighborhood school. And it belongs to this community. And when we look at the community school strategy, the model, it's simple. We're not trying to take over a school, pull a school, take a school from under the district, all the myths. We just want common sense ideas. We want quality teachers, okay, that's not sticking to the test. We want a curriculum that's culturally relevant. We want our children to be exposed to other things outside of their community, more field trips, seeing different things, nature and arts. We want positive discipline practices. We know that there's a school to prison pipeline. We know when we start suspending kids, kicking kids out of school, they get further behind, they don't stay in school, eventually they end up dropping out of school. So we want PBIS, we want restorative justice. We want those practices to be implemented effectively in the school. We also want parent and community engagement, where parents have a seat at the table. The community has a seat at the table. Teachers have a seat at the table when it comes to being involved, and the school having a real strategy on how to get more parents involved and engaged in what's going on with the school. Shared leadership or collective trust. That's talking about having an active site-based team where decisions are being made between the parents, the students, and the community, and the principals and administrators all coming together and laying out a vision on what they want the school to be, and then actually implementing that vision and taking the steps on what you want your school to actually look like, working on some things. And understand you might have 10 things that you want to accomplish, but you might only be able to accomplish 3 in this year. Let's focus on those 3, and then let's focus on some other things in the following years. This is not something that's overnight. This is something that's sustainable. We want community schools to last for a long period of time, a sustainable community school. And when you have a school that's the central hub of the community, it brings the community all together and makes education a wonderful thing and makes the school the central hub of the community. So that's what we mean when we talk about community schools. Okay, so is there any questions, thoughts, concept? And real quick here, one of the things that's coming up at Dunbar is testing. Kids have tests coming up. Dunbar is our school, it's his first year. And that's not a bad thing, because it's not in the 4th year, 3rd, 5th year. And the school is going in the right direction. Mr. Waters has done a great job. And we need partners here to come to the table to find out what can we do to actually help the kids. And Mr. Waters, he's the leader of the school. He can tell you more than any of us can tell you what his school needs, what he needs from us as a community to support those efforts, okay? So today, we're gonna get a chance to tour the school, then we're gonna come back here, we're gonna have some coffee and donuts once he finish up. And we're gonna get a chance to do a Q&A where he can answer any questions you might have, and then we wanna make a commitment to actually do what we wanna do, to do what we said we're gonna do to actually get involved and get engaged, okay? Any questions? Sir, did I miss something?
I have a question.
Yes.
Are there any funds coming to this facility from the bond program that passed recently? Were there anything designated for this facility in technology or anything of that nature, or even improvements to the physical plant, would be my question.
Well, that's not a question I can really necessarily answer because I haven't looked at when it comes to Dunbar, when it comes to the bond.
I'm only thinking about equity.
Okay.
We know where normally the funds have been identified, and I know
Right.
there's a question about the southern sector of the DISD getting some of the.
Right. Yeah, no, I understand, but I don't have an answer for you. I can find it, but I don't have it right now. Yes.
Well, to answer your question, actually, when the city voters approved the 2015 bond program for DISD, there was just a general statement of approving $1.6 billion that was not specifically designated to any particular schools. So it's possible that even the trustees, even at this point, may not even know. They may have designated some money, but this is the time that parents can lobby to the trustees in order to get the funds you need in your community to create a sustainable and enriching educational process for your individual children. Because it was like giving the trustees a blank check.
Right. Now, so I understand what you're saying when it comes to the bond, and that's something that's long term. Right now, what we're trying to talk about is short term solutions, right? I think these kids Dunbar getting off IR and supporting the school and giving them the resources collectively as a community, in my opinion, is top priority over how bond money is going to be spent right now. You know, I think that is something we should talk about, but that's not the priority, and that's not really the purpose of this meeting. The purpose of this meeting is how do we support the principal, staff, and these parents. Okay, but you're right, we do need to talk about that, and that's something when you start talking about collective trust and the site-based team, those are things that we can all come up and decide if that's something that we want to tackle. Okay, but I definitely appreciate your thoughts on this.
I just think that we need to have a facility that's conducive to learning. Otherwise, the parental engagement and the community engagement and the parents and the teachers working, I mean, that means we fall short as a community by not providing the best learning facility that we can give these kids.
Right, no, and I agree with you. That makes a lot of
And I
sense.
could just kind of answer that. When you walked in, you may have noticed these signs, but it just kind of talks about what the proposed the proposed monies for through the bond program for Dunbar, and some of the things that they've listed here includes roof repairing or replacing our roof, HVAC work, interior improvements, site improvements, and exterior enhancements, plumbing, and technology. So we do know that we have been allocated a portion of those funds. We know that we can, when it comes closer to us, I don't know which phase we are in the bond, but we do know that we can speak on it. We can add to this and enhance what has been listed here. But based on their initial review of the building and assessment of the building, these are the things that they've noted here for Dunbar.
We know that the squeaky wheel is the one that gets oil.
Yes, sir.
And so if we do not speak up and talk about these things, that means that Dunbar would get left out of it for the next 4 or 5 years. And so now's a good time for us to say something about that.
But Mr. Turner was correct in his statement about really supporting us in the now. We are testing in 29 days. Our first round of testing is coming up. We do feel really positive about where we are in terms of our data, but our first priority is to ensure that our school meets standard, because we want to stabilize what's going on instructionally. You know, we want to make sure that our students are getting the best instruction that we can provide each and every day. We want to make sure that we have teachers who are equipped standing in front of our students. We want to support our teachers, making sure that they have the training that's necessary, whether it be around classroom management, because we know that if a teacher cannot manage the class, it's going to be very difficult for them to teach the students. So we want to support our teachers. We know that some of our teachers are coming out of alternative programs and they may not be receiving the trainings that they need to really be successful. And so we want to make sure that we're providing them the quality professional development so that they can be successful. We do have, some new teachers here in our building, and I just have to step back and remember myself as a first-year teacher. I taught here at Dunbar as a first-year teacher, and so I remember the support that I received as a new teacher, and I want to be able to provide that type of support for all of our teachers. Yes, sir.
I know district-wide, 52% of our teachers have under 5 years' experience. Do you know, is that happening here too? Is it that high?
We're not as high. It's
no,
not as high here.
We're not. We're actually, the largest percentage of our teaching experience on our campus is between 11 and 20 years of experience. So if you take a look at our data according to the TPR, if you take a look at our teaching experience data, we're right on target with the district on average at 10 and a half years, as well as the state, which is also at 11 years. So teaching experience, we're sitting at around 11 to 20 years of experience. As of right now, I believe I have about 5 teachers that are brand new to the teaching profession, that are just strictly brand new, fresh out of college or fresh out of an alternative certification program. But most of our teachers are actually between that 11 and 20 years. And we have some that are actually over 20. We have one teacher that's in about her 40th year or so. So that really provides us with a lot of help and support, because things that time in which we need to support our teachers from an administrative perspective, excuse me, sometime as principal or assistant principal or instructional coach, we may not be able to provide those on-site, on-demand support for teachers. But when you have a large array of teaching experience across your campus, that really helps out. So a lot of our teachers will go to their colleagues with more experience and ask them to troubleshoot some things or help them with some areas of concern or opportunity. That really helps out a lot on the campus as a whole. Before I get ready to do the morning announcements, I wanted to just tell you a little bit about this room here that you're in. This here is our data room, and the way in which this room is constructed is on this side of the wall we have our teacher data. So we break our teacher data down longitudinal by individual teacher, and that's from pre-K all the way up to 5th grade. So it's not like we're just looking at 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Of course, that's our main focus for STAR, but we're looking at data from pre-K all the way up, because that pre-K data is really going to help us set that strong foundation for the campus moving forward. So you have it by individual teacher, you have it by individual student, based off the clips, and each clip represents a specific student that the teacher knows. And then you have it also by our grade levels, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, surrounding our STAR tested areas. So one of the initiatives that we have this year at Dunbar is to really make sure that we're being data driven and we're looking at every individual student as we move forward to the spring. And that's looking at pre-K all the way up to 5th grade. I'm excited because Dunbar has been approved to have a pre-K3 program for next year. We have pre-K4 now, but we have an opportunity to get a pre-K3 program. I'm excited about it because that means that we're able to start that foundation and grow our students even earlier. Right. It's going to come with some challenges, but it gives us an opportunity to really set a strong foundation in those beginner early childhood years. Yes, sir.
I was looking at the math and the reading. How do you determine what student ends up in which line?
Right.
What
So
is
very
it based
good.
on?
Very good. So what you see are 4 different tiers based off the color. And if you take a look up here, there's the breakdown for the scoring. And we update that particular piece of data every time we have a common assessment. So the district now, for the intensive support network, we're assessing our scholars every 3 weeks. So we just finished doing our 5th grade math mock yesterday, so that 5th grade math will update. We have some common assessments taking place this morning as well. So every time we do a common assessment, teachers will come in here with administrator or instructional coach, and we'll analyze the data, and then we'll make our changes accordingly from here with the teacher, the student, as well as the campus, so that we're constantly having our data in real time.
So this is like your visual dashboard?
This is our visual dashboard as a campus, because we need to know we can't afford to let any one kid can mess up your whole accountability. And we can't afford to let that happen. So as a campus, we're being very strategic about how we're progress monitoring every child. And when you walk into classrooms and see in the classrooms, you will notice that we have some portfolios and profiles that the teachers keep track of that data on their own individual basis in their classroom, so that they're able to also make those informed instructional decisions based off the data.
So what we're gonna do, because Mr. Waters has to make the morning announcements, we're gonna have coffee and donuts, and then when he's done with that, then we're gonna come back and do a tour, okay? So let's get some coffee and donuts, let's mingle, then when he's done, we'll do a quick tour, all right? Get some coffee and donuts.
This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please leave comments below, or like, follow, or subscribe to us and get notices of all our videos. We love it, even when you